Forgot to take that off. Always block the camera if you're not doing anything with it. Just saying. Hello, son. All right. So I got a few things to talk about today. And let's wait for a few more people to come in. I'm glad that the young man liked his train tracks, by the way. Awesome. So. Okay, that's that one. All right. We got two. Welcome to my living room. It will be a little bit better of a production next Thursday, I hope. Not that this is a production. Let's see. All right, so the first thing that I wanted to bring up, first, welcome. Just have a few things I wanted to talk about. One thing that is probably helpful to all veterans for travel deals, airfare and airfare discounts. It's American Forces Travel, and it's AmericanForcesTravel.com. And hey, what's up, M-Dog? It's the Department of the what is going on today? It's not Monday. All right. So American Forces Travel is the Department of Defense's MWR site, which is Morale, Welfare, and Recreation. It's a platform for offering bookings for leisure travel, with a portion of the bookings going back to support military quality of life programs. It's structured by Priceline, and it offers deals up to 50% off hotels, flights from all major airlines, split ticket options, rental car savings up to 35%, and they have travel options for any mode of travel, so it's not just flying. Like I said, that's AmericanForcesTravel.com. They don't support me or anything. I'm just talking about this because it's fucking epic. I've been waiting for a long time for something like this. Before it was just, we crossed our fingers and hoped that we could get on a Space 8 flight, which is a flight going somewhere that they have seats that are left over that we can just kind of pop in and take. So that's kind of flying by the seat of your pants. Yes, I'm corny. So that was the first piece of information I wanted to put out. Let's see. The next one is really interesting. It's the first time I've gotten this message. It's the advisory committee. What is with my talking today? Advisory Committee on Women Veterans Notice of Meetings. Wheels! Love you too, lady. Don't forget those pictures. I want to see. So, the Committee on Women Veterans is December 14th, 15th, and 16th, and it's from 10 to 1 Eastern. Now, there's a WebEx link and call-in information below that I didn't know how to put in it. Amanda! Woohoo! Hello! I did not know how to put this information to be here for you. I guess it should have been in the description, huh? Duh. I'm new at this, so sue me. But the point of it is to advise the Secretary of Veteran Affairs regarding the needs of women veterans with respect to healthcare, rehabilitation, compensation, outreach, and other programs and activities administered by the VA. So basically, it's a committee that goes for 3 days from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., which is actually a bit of a long. I can't help it, Wheels. I've messed up talking so many times already. This is for us or for anybody that is in this meeting to give the information that they want to give to the Secretary of Veterans Affairs. So it's similar, I would say, to a direct line, but I'm not sure if it's I'm not sure if he's going to be there. I'm not sure if there's going to be if it's going to be like his flunkies or whatever are going to be there and then take the information to him. It didn't really say. So, and it's the government, so you can imagine. All right, so I've got another one that came today that there are newly enacted service-connected benefits. Now, this one's big because there are, I think there's 6 of them, and this started in May 2021. They started provisions for bladder cancer, hypothyroidism, and Parkinson's to the list of medical conditions presumptively associated with exposure to Agent Orange. That's this Vietnam vet stuff. Then they added asthma, rhinitis, and sinusitis, nose and sinuses, on a presumptive basis based on particular matter exposures during military service in Southwest Asia and other theaters. So basically, this is saying any veteran who was previously denied service connection for any of those 6 conditions, reapply, because you're not going to. Let me read it correctly. I don't want to give wrong information. Sorry. Previously denied service connection for any of these 6 conditions that I told you about within 10 years of military discharge would need to file a supplemental claim. And that's basically a VA Form 20-0995, which is Decision Review Request Supplemental Claim. So it's basically to add more stuff to a claim that you've already made. And I really suggest veterans go through service officers. Do not try to do anything with the VA on your own because it won't work. I had a service officer and I've been paralyzed twice because of this MS. And it still took them a year for, hey, Ben, good girl, Ben. She's laying on her bed. She's so cute. It took them over a year and a half to finally do something with my claim that I submitted in Delaware. Before I was in Delaware, and then we moved to, I was married at the time, moved to Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana. Beautiful, but don't live there. Bugs are ginormous and so hot. MS doesn't do well with hot. So I'll just say that. There's I lost my train of thought. Oh, a year and a half it took that it started in Delaware. Started in Delaware. I moved to Louisiana, and those are the first 2 VA facilities that I actually did anything with, because at the time I was married to a military member, so I had military member. So I had TRICARE, which is military member health care and stuff like that. So I didn't have to worry about, VA stuff. But once he pulled his little thing, I picked up from Louisiana. And just as an aside, he pulled his little thing that he did not long after I got my back pay from that. And I paid off his bills. Wow, 13 and a half years, not worth shit, apparently. Anyway, rabbit trail, sorry. I moved back to Delaware, and ever since then, I was in the VA system. Now, there is something that I mentioned in other videos that I really want to see if there's a way to get it in somebody's ear or before somebody's eyes, or somebody see it or listen or something, is that veterans don't have a way to go from state to state, or even from one part of a state to another part of a state if it's farther than an hour away, to get VA healthcare. We have no idea what each facility is like, and it's just it's a crapshoot if you basically want to move, because it costs. Okay, for example, California costs an arm and a leg to live there. You want to move to Colorado, doesn't cost as much. You have no idea what you're getting if you were to move here from California. You know what you have at the VA in California in your area, in whatever your radius is that you deal with. But you do not have any way to move from Expensiveville to somewhere that's less expensive. It's a crapshoot. Oh man, I can't even imagine what Flint's VA is like. I know your stories already. So I'm just going to go with those and say they suck. Okay. So there was that. And today, one other thing I wanted to talk about was, let me get back to the, it's from airforce.com. And it's the title of the video on, is this a ploy? And I honestly think that it's a ploy, but it poofed on me. I posted it. We have a group. There is a group for female veterans on Facebook called Dysfunctional Female Veterans, because there is a dysfunctional veterans group, so we've got our own. So basically, this is a story from military.com that the title of it, Army expands reviews of command sergeants major in bid to weed out toxic leaders. It sounds like bullshit to me. Now, what it says is, the Army has begun a new program to take a closer look at command sergeants major eligible to lead brigades in an effort to weed out potentially toxic leaders. What took so effing long? So this is a quotation here. This is the Sergeant Major of the Army, Michael Grinston, told reporters this. It wasn't that the old system was bad. It's just, how do we pick a better leader? Yeah, how do you pick a better leader? It's been toxic since God knows when. And that was the Army. I was in the Air Force. Just as bad, because the Air Force was created out of the Army. It was the Army, became Army Air Forces, and then the Air Force. Just like now we've got Space Force, which was created out of the Air Force. So that's a long rabbit trail I'm not going down. But this Sergeant Major says to the reporters, we want to move into the 21st century with really good talent management. Sorry, that one blew me away when I read that. Really good talent management, and assess and ensure that we have the absolute best leaders for our soldiers. Our soldiers deserve the best we can give them. None of them, I don't think any of the military services think like that. None of them. For the Army, all of this is happening, and this is quite a while after what happened with Vanessa Gillen. And for anybody that doesn't know, that was a soldier that was killed on Fort Hood. No, Fort Carson is here. No, it was Fort Hood. And dismembered by a fellow military member. And she had already gone to her leadership beforehand to report the information, and they blew her off. They did nothing. And now she's dead. Gee. That happens more times than many people. Don't bark. Cow. Welcome to my living room. Hey, Coco. She's grumping and she's wagging her tail at the same time. Anyway, not many. Military does not take care of their female service members the way they do the males. Don't start barking. Don't do it. Wow, you listen real good. Hey. Hey. Stop. Come here. Good girl, stop. Okay, so they don't take care, none of the military, Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard. We're second-class citizens still, even in 2021. And I know this because of veterans that I live around. There are 5 military installations in this city alone. So you can, all you have to do is talk to people and you'll hear things. And I talk to people, so I hear lots of things. There's just I wouldn't say a stigma, but there is a male dominance kind of mentality that women are weaker, they can't do anything, basically. And there are females that go into the military that prey on that and use that to get ahead. They do this or do that. I'm not going to go into what they do because it's... But they do what they can to get ahead using their feminine wiles, so to speak. That's a small minority. Majority of us want to just be able to work alongside men without having to worry about, like I said in a previous video, an enemy being on our side of the fence. We don't want to have to watch our back while we're with fellow service members. We don't want to have to watch our back for that. We already have to, I still do, even now, still have to watch my back when I go out, when I get in and out of my vehicle. I've got this whole thing that I worked out over the years that I always make sure that I lock the doors, because this past year, a woman was yanked out of her car, dragged into another car. Somebody got into her car and drove it and dropped the car off someone, and then they killed her somewhere else. Nobody's getting in my vehicle. Not going to happen. Now, garbage like this even happens on military installations. Of course, because it's a military installation, the news and things like that aren't as... Not that the news is worth the shit now, but before, the news sucked. Things like that weren't discussed. There wasn't a release of information for safety reasons or whatever for female, like, airmen, soldiers, Marines, Navy squids, that be careful of this, watch out for this. There's nothing like that. I think there may be now, I hope. But I personally think this is a ploy by the Army to do this because of all of the deaths that there have been, so many at Fort Hood alone, that people are killing other soldiers. That's what I mean by you've got the enemy on your side of the fence. You know what I mean? How can you do your job well if you've got to watch your back even while you're sitting at a desk in an office? It's not really conducive to morale, for the work environment, none of that. So the long and the short of it is things need to change, and they need to change like years ago needed to change. They need to change now. It was rough. I experienced that. I'm going to be flat out honest. It took 20 years for me to be completely, hey, this is what happened. Where I'll talk about it to anybody. Now I'm on YouTube talking about it, which is a humongous difference from the way it used to be. Basically, I went into the Air Force 6 days after I graduated high school. So, wet behind the ears, I don't know shit. I got taken advantage of within the first 4 months of my being there by a buck sergeant, which isn't even it's not even a rank anymore in the Air Force. Now it's senior airman. When I came in, it was still senior airman and buck sergeant, and they were phasing out buck sergeant. But this guy was, I don't know, he was older, and he was one of those guys that's like, oh, I got a Corvette, I'm cool, I got a Corvette. And we were sitting in the alarm or the weapons storage area. We are an alarm response team, which is 2 people, male, female in this case. Hey, Mel. This dog, her ears are just crazy. People can't even walk by the front of my house. Hey, come here. Come here. Hey. Yo, I'm trying to talk here. It's kind of important. Stop wagging your tail, you doofus. Come here. Come here. Thank you. Okay. So, like I was saying, what a spot to get interrupted at. Anyway, so this older individual decided to start feeling up, and I froze. Freaking barely 18. I didn't know what the fuck to do. I was completely blown away, and my reaction was to just freeze. I just didn't move. His hands are going all over. I just didn't move. And then after that, I don't remember anything after that. I really don't. It took me talking to one of the best counselors I've ever had, one of the best counselors I've ever had that was a senior leadership. He retired after 21 years in the Army, and he went on to be a counselor to veterans. And I had forgotten everything. I blocked it out. I remember names now. I remember even things that happened. So it's hey, Chili, what's up, man? Thank you. I needed that smile. So it's rough for women in the military still in 2021. I know it is, because Imagine what happens in just regular old, all right, for example, McDonald's. You go to McDonald's and you've got the guys that are like the heads or what have you, and the men. Sometimes there's women, female, or there's female managers, and they still get disrespected. I've seen it. I saw it in a McDonald's a couple months ago. My 87-year-old neighbor wanted to go to McDonald's. She called me and asked me if I wanted to go. I was like, sure. I hadn't had fast food and I don't even remember. But it's the disrespect and the way women are viewed just generally are, it's not right. And the way women act that make all the rest of us look bad, like, example, female gets married to a military member, has 2 kids, was pregnant, and tricked the military member into thinking it was his kid. Turned out it wasn't. But the crap that she put him through between here and once we found out what the hell was going on could have ruined his career if he didn't have people that knew him. Civilian world, I've got a really bad taste in my mouth for females that use men, baby daddies, for money and lie and cry rape and then never happened. There's actually someone that was taken to account, and the female actually had some jail time. First time I ever heard of it. I should have gotten it so I could tell y'all about it, but it just hit me now. Females that ruin men's lives because they can, and that's pathetic, because they're enabled by the system, legal system, all of these things that are in place for women to, like, you got women and infant, or it's WIC, I don't know what it is now, or if it even is still WIC, but it's to get food to eat, but they sell it. Now, this is men and women both for food stamps or whatever it's called now. I forget, because I've never been on it, so I have no idea. They sell the benefit that they're given. They sell it to make money. Everything is the almighty dollar. But women take an advantage of men just because they can get away with it so easily, is disgusting to me. It is disgusting, and I despise it. And when I see it, I speak up. Because that poor guy probably doesn't have anybody speaking up for him. Even his friends that are around him that know, what's he going to do? What can they do? Nothing. So I'm bringing it up here because it's wrong. I'm getting angry and my hair is starting to, I'm feeling like goosebumps, like, ugh, where I just want to, it really, really pisses me off, because you should work and be able to get what you want through your own merit, not by using other people. And that is why I have such a problem with everything that the current president is doing. Let's go, Brandon. I just have too much. I've seen too much of people. Whoops. Sorry. I've seen too much of females using men. Even when I was married to an active duty member, I would see it in the other wives that would do things like that to their husbands. Why? What's the point? What's the point of being a shitty person? It takes too much energy, for one thing. People that worry about everything around them. I used to be one of those people. I would worry about everything. I drive down the road, still do it every now and again. I'm still working on it, but I drive down the road and I'm hyper vigilant of when I'm taking a right turn in the middle lane to go into the middle lane here. Just happened today. Some guy in a giant freaking Suburban, we're turning, and he starts coming over right into me. I plan stuff like that in my head. I have contingencies for so much in my head. It's the energy it takes to have this in my brain. You have an emotional bank account. Let's put it that way. So you have an emotional bank account, and obviously you only have so much in your account. And you overdrawn, your ass is, forget it. You need to only put forward energy for things that count, things that you can control. It took me decades to figure this out. Now I want to share it. I want to share because this is stuff people need to know, because things right now are fucking crazy. I mean, you can't, I mean, things are crazy. We got military members, active duty military members who have family in Afghanistan that are still stuck there. But Biden is settling 4,000 Afghans a day in the United States. Go back and get the motherfuckers that deserve to be here. What the fuck is wrong with you? Okay. Sorry. So, females that take advantage, and anyone that takes advantage of anything, is infuriating. What are you doing? You whining? Why are you whining? Come here. I haven't had much dog interruption yet. I'm surprised. The last couple times they've been quiet. This is new. What? Come here. Come here. You come. You look at me like that for? I didn't do anything wrong. What's the problem? Come here. Come here. My ducky, my little old man with all that white. He gets away with the whining because he's the oldest, and I've had him since he was smaller than his head is now. I guess I've kind of ranted enough. This is my point of view. This is what I want to do with this channel. I want to disseminate information that I have gained through life. And I want to show support for the marginalized. Those men that are taken advantage of by insane bitches. They don't even deserve to be called bitches because female dogs are friggin' awesome. So, I'm not using bitches. Psycho females. Nobody deserves to be treated like shit. Especially when there's a kid involved. And I won't stand for it. If I see it, I'll speak up. It's gotten me in trouble before. But that's not your business. Oh, it's not? Then why are you doing it right here in public? Hello? Duh. Anyway, I'm going to call this. I'm going to say this was a good one. I'm getting a little better at this. I appreciate everybody being here. It's awesome. I'm hoping that I have a room cleared out to get everything put together. I'm going to have Flawed called it a studio. but his was a studio for rapping, which he friggin' rocks. I need to have a room where I can shut the door. If the dogs are going to bark, it'll be out here while I'm back there. So they won't be so, Lady Liv, hey, thank you. So it won't be as loud like it was today. Sorry about that. Like you say in the beginning, welcome to my living room. So thank you everybody for being here. Please, if you haven't yet, hit that like button. And thank you for making comments, because that actually helps get the video up too. Today was the first time I've had 6 people in here. It's freaking awesome. So thank you everybody for coming and listening and making me feel like my voice, life should have purpose and meaning, and this is going to be my purpose and meaning. And with the 5, 6 people that were here today, that's gratifying to me. So thank you very much, and I appreciate it. Gonna go ahead and end the stream now, and every Thursday, 6 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, Central is 7, I think. This stupid daylight savings time sucks. Much love to you. Love you. Freaking, I can't wait to see those pictures. I almost said your real name. Sorry. I just thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I really do. So I will see y'all next Thursday.